Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today, we got a marathon by GREYBEARD, and it's a good one. It's a good one. Well, I mean, I've done some Starcastle. Of course, I've done Kansas. We saw them live, and Dixie Dregs I've done as well. But what I know about all these bands is that they're amazing. Prog and instrumental music, and the Dixie Dregs has what's his name? It's not How, it's Steve. My God, I can't remember his name, but I got the email right here that GREYBEARD sent to me, and give me a second. There he is. Steve Morris, not Steve Howe. All right, so it says here that there's a little bit of notes. This marathon, I've decided to do a little American prog fusion from the 70s, of course. LOL. Here is my list for you. Only 3 tracks, but they're longer tracks, so yeah. So we're going to start it up with Starcastle, and I do remember reacting to Starcastle. I'll put it up in a sec. This is from the self-titled debut, 1976, Starcastle. Then Kansas, we're going to do the album Left Overture. Is that the one? No, that's the Point of No Return. This is Cheyenne Anthem from 1976, and then the Dixie Dregs Cruise Control from Free Fall 1977. And then it says, please enjoy. Did some Dixie Dregs because I know how much you enjoy Steve Morris. It's a fusion delight. So Steve Morris, it's just like, I love this guy because I know how good he is, and he has played in Deep Purple and Kansas, and just the solo stuff. Like, I've always compared him a little bit as a teacher to John Petrucci. When I hear John Petrucci, I just hear Steve Morris. They have like the safe picking style, and just the way they compose solos is very, very awesome, very dramatic and very melodic and stuff like that. So I can't wait to do this. So let's put on my trusted headphones. All right. And here we go. Thank you so much, GREYBEARD, for sponsoring this video. I do appreciate it. I can take off the glasses now that I've read everything. And yeah, thank you so much again. And everybody, who enjoys these videos, thank you for watching, for liking, for subscribing, all that good stuff. And I hope you enjoy. Some songs I haven't heard. Maybe they played Cheyenne Anthem when we went to see them live, but I wouldn't really remember. I was so excited. They played so many songs. But yeah, here we go with Starcastle. And let me just see if I've done any Starcastle before. I'm almost 100% sure I did. Starcastle. Yes. And who was it that I did it for? Okay, I reacted by myself to Fountains. Reminded me of another band I love. Oh, that was like what I put in the comment section. But for some reason, it wasn't a request, I think. Or maybe it was. If it was for you, Eric, let me know. But whoever this request was for, I didn't put it in the notes, We had a different system. All right, here we go. Thank you so much, Eric. Let's get started with Starcastle. Here we go. Yeah. Sounds like Rush. it's insane how much just sounds like Yes. I'm sure they, the band gets a lot of flack for that, but hey, I don't care. It sounds amazing. It's a great time. And, me as a new listener, I can enjoy this completely because, yes, it does sound like Yes, like ridiculously much. The bass, the lines, even the singing, the harmonies. But I just know, maybe like 20, 25 songs by now. So I can really enjoy this at full, so let me know what you think. I'm sure you I mean, people that are like Yes purists would be like, oh, they sound too much like Yes. But hey, I think it's a good time. They're from Chicago. Great band. I think this is very good, very clean, very good, very, very, very beautiful. Let's keep going. Wow. And I do have to say, I'm sorry for pausing again. There's some other influences at play here as well. It's not just Yes. It's Yes, like the bass sounds a little bit, typical of Chris. But it sounded like Rush at the beginning, and it has like a little bit of ELP. And might I say Kansas? Like it's all together. It's really, really. When did this come out? Let's see, 1976. But they were formed, I think, in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. That I read there before. But okay, let's keep going. No more interruptions. Wonder, come to me. You will turn it. Nothing is the key. When no morning I see. Wonder, come to me. You will turn it. Nothing is the key. She's a lady of the lake, wrapped in the sun, with the summer in her hands. Only no one in the flashing of her eyes. Life is begun. Wow. so cool. Sorry. The harmonies are kind of like inversed. I think the main vocalist, like the lead vocalist, uh, sings the lower parts, but I could be wrong. You let me know. And I think whoever sings the who does the second voice, I think does the high parts, like with John Anderson and Chris Squire. It's reversed. But it doesn't really. I mean, it is, the intention is there, you know. But John Anderson and Chris Squire, they just sound like unmistakably like Yes. This is, I think, it's. I guess I see a band of very talented musicians that just love what Yes were doing, and they just wanted to do something very similar. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I was just on Prog Archives, and the music critics are not very kind. But I think I love this. Like, I would totally listen to this. It's because, again, I'm not like a purist, you know. I haven't been around Yes since I was 13 years old. I just discovered them literally just 2 years ago. You know, I mean, I've heard of them, of course, but I've never really listened to them. I knew Owner of a Lonely Heart. That's about it, you know. So I don't take it too personal. I can still go and enjoy other music, you know. I'm like this with everything, you know. I can listen to Yngwie Malmsteen, and he might be my favorite shredder, but there's maybe 30 or 40 other shredders that play exactly like him and uses his lines and his vocabulary and his everything, and I can still enjoy that, because in the end it is a little bit different, you know. It's not the same song, it's not the same chord progression, it has that flair, but that's it, you know. So I think this is very, very good, very interesting, and I like the recording. It's very clean and very, you know, very, for a first record, this sounds amazing, you know. So let's keep going. I'm enjoying this very much. Nice. Oh God. Fighting with my chair. Are those volume swells, but the bass? good. Like I I really don't care if they sound like another band, but I think that's what I put in my first reaction, and I didn't really want to spoil it. And I think I put in the that's why I put in the description, reminded me of another band, and I'm sure this was the band. I mean, yes, was the band. I think it was still a great song. It's like, yeah, I think that Yngwie Malmsteen example was just spot on, because again, there's so many bands that sound alike because you know it's just what you're influenced by. Like there's Dream Theater, right? And now there's like 50 bands that sound like Dream Theater, or there's 10 bands that sound like Tool. They just like what Tool is doing, so they want to recreate it in their own way, and I think that's fine. There's Porcupine Tree, and there's a lot of bands that sound like Steven Wilson or Porcupine Tree. So it's, there's always going to be the pioneers, and then there's going to be people that are going to try and emulate that. And I think that's totally fine. Music is, even with classical music, you'll hear a lot of stuff in Mozart's music or Beethoven's music that Bach was doing, or in Beethoven's music, and hear Mozart. There's always going to be some influence, So I think this was great. It was a good time. It was a great tune. Great solos, great parts, great bass playing, great harmonies. They actually reminded me of not so much of Yes. They reminded me almost like of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. They were more like in that kind of. I think the harmonies that Yes sings are not like in. I would have to check it out on the guitar. I would kind of listen to Yes and then figure out what if it's in thirds or fourths, from the root. I don't know, because those, Chris and John Anderson, they just sound so good, but it's like almost like they sounded a little bit more. They were doing like different harmonies, I think, but I could be wrong. Okay, let's continue with Kansas. Here we go. But this is one of the best 70s bands I've seen live. I think I enjoyed Kansas way more, and we saw him at the same theater. We saw Kansas there. We saw Yes there. We saw Alan Parsons Project there. Oh, but the one that we did see there, and that I think tops all of them, is the Musical Box. I'm sorry, but they were just so good. And and to hear, Firth of Fifth live, I was just like blown away. But Kansas, I think, is a close second. But I don't know. Maybe I recognize this song. If I do, I'll let you guys know. Here we go. I can't believe this song. Wow. It did not feel that long. The Land of the Lake, Lady of the Lake. That is insane. I felt like it was 5 minutes. I really enjoyed that, I really did. Okay, here we go with Kansas. Wait a second. Sometimes when I pause the song, like I play it and then I pause to say something and then I play again and it's like, no, you're done. Reload. So that's what I'm doing. Let me just do something here real quick while we're taking a breather. Let's see. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for coming back to me. And here we go. Sorry about that.
From the mountains to the sun, life has only just begun. We We wed this land and pledged our souls to meet its end.
No, I don't know this.
Life has only just begun. Here my people roam the earth. In the kingdom of our birth, where the dust of all our horses hides the sun. We are mighty on the earth, on the earth. You have come to move me, take me from my ancient home. Land of my fathers, I can't leave you now.
Wow, man.
We will share it with you. No man owns this earth we're on. Now the wheels are rolling. Hear the howling winds of war. It's my destiny to fight and die. But is there no solution? Can we find no other way? Lord, let me stay under the endless sky and the earth below. Here I was born to live, and I will never go. Oh, no.
So good.
Only then I endure, like the earth and the mountains, life is not ours to keep, for a new sun is rising.
Wow. Now I know where Danny Elfman got his style from. Doomf, 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 doomf. You know, I love it, man. And also, let me just move this hair out of my face because I know most of these songs on this album. Of course, I know "Carry On, Wayward Son," "The Wall," "What's on My Mind." No, but "Miracles Out of Nowhere." They played that. They played "The Wall." They played "Carry On" live. Opus, I think Magnum Opus, they played that as well. If not, I've reacted to it. So I'm happy that we're getting, you know, more songs out of the way from this amazing album. This is the 4th album, and there's some really cool information on this that Steve Walsh was kind of going through, like a little bit of writer's block. So Carrie Livgren kind of like filled in the void, which is so cool because we saw Carrie Livgren. I think that's the guy with the eye patch. If I'm wrong, don't kill me. You know, it's just a reaction. But he was the only one, the only original member left that night, right? So I think it was him, and he was like playing like his ass off. Like he was so good. But everyone was just phenomenal. But yeah, I think so. This one I didn't know, and then Questions of My Childhood, I don't know. I might. Opus insert, I don't know, but Magnum Opus definitely, because they also played that on that evening. So this is from 1976. What a band. I mean, yes, say what you will, but their sound I've not heard before. There's only one Kansas, there's only one Kansas. There's a band in Spain called Magro de Oz, but they're more metal, but they also use violins, and they play Dust in the Wind and on one of their albums in Spanish. But I think they're very, very influenced by Kansas. But I think Kansas really, it's just like so freaking like original. And I love also the fact that I once talked about this with GREYBEARD, because he used to play this music, and his kids would come home and they were like, "What, Dad? What are you listening to? It sounds like video game music," because it does. But let me just explain, because what they do in early video games of the 80s and 90s, more like the 90s, they would have only like 2 minutes, and they would come up with a very catchy kind of like melody, and then just loop it over the time you spend in that level. And that's basically when you hear like one of those little sections that Kansas does, like instrumental sections or like these interludes. It's like that's what video game developers took from bands like Kansas or Yes, or who knows, like Bach or Vivaldi and stuff like that, and they would put it in the game and they would just loop it, and that's why it sounds like video game music to us younger people. And I guess Eric would say yes, it does, but this is where it comes from. This is the source for the video game developers. So yeah, all right, let's keep going. Wonderful, wonderful.
Soon these days shall pass away. For our freedom we must pay. All our words and deeds are carried on the wind. In the ground our bodies lay. Here we'll stay.
Wow, that sounded like at the end of Hold On. I love Steve Walsh. What a voice, and also Robbie Steinhardt. Like those two together, unmatchable, you know. In that style, you know. And then Steve to be such a efficient keyboard player, you know, and composer, and to Robbie be such an amazing singer and such a skilled violinist. I mean, come on, man. Such a shame that he passed away 3 years ago. July 17th, only at 71. 71. That's way too young. That's way too young. So yeah. All right, man. What a track. What a good track. Thank you, Eric. This was great. And it's just like I'm super happy because it does remind me of our, you know, talks, you know, that we've had when we met. We were like, just like, I mean, you can still talk about this stuff, you know, 40 years later. I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know when Greybeard first heard this, but I mean, you know, it's still relevant. It's still so good, you know. So Left Overtures, let's see, came out in 76. Okay, 76. What an album, man. Oh man, it's so good. All right, well, let's continue now with Cruise Control by the Dixie Dregs, which is oh my god, we got so many albums they sent us. Tony, the majority. Tony. We already have a plan. Once we buy our house, we're gonna have literally a room that has all the CDs Tony sent us, and then we can make a video of it. Because I mean, there's no way to film this. It's all over. It's all over the house. We have no room. And it's not a small apartment, but it's like not big enough for all the CDs. But yeah, they'll get their place. Trust us. Okay, so this is Dixie Dregs Cruise Control with the almighty Steve Morse. Here we go. Imagine Alexia playing that bass line. I would go crazy. I would go crazy. Like, I would be like, keep it, like, stay there. You know, I'm like, what a great, it does remind me of another song. I don't know what, but maybe this is the original. It feels like I've heard this before, but then again, it could be just a good bass line, you know, very groovy and man. So, if you want to see the Dixie Dregs, they're in Nashville, Atlanta, Charleston, but they're not in Denver, so too bad for us. should have been longer. Okay, it should have been longer, but well, you know, that's life. But wonderful. I do know the only person I know from the Dixie Dregs, aside from Steve Morse, is Rod Morgenstein. Because I once bought a album with Rod Morgenstein on it, and it was Magna Carta's catalog, and I can tell you exactly which one it is. It's called the Rudis Morgenstein Project, 1997. And I remember this because it was Jordan Rudis before he joined Dream Theater, and it's just insane. The whole album is just I knew about Rod Morgenstein being an amazing drummer, but I didn't know he was part of the Dixie Dregs. So there we go. Another information that I learned today. Awesome. And yeah, check out Magna Carta. Their catalog. They have an amazing amount of tributes to Yes, to Rush, with the Working Man album, ELP. I think I bought those, and I was just like, and they were all like artists, like you know, Mike Portnoy, and all these new progressive bands, all these new progressive metal or progressive rock bands from the 90s and 2000s, and they did albums of their influences, you know, like Yes, Rush, Genesis, I think. But I would have to check those out. I'm still, you know, busy with the original music, you know, so I wouldn't want to listen to any covers right now. But yeah, this was so good. Thank you so much, Eric, for this awesome marathon. All the songs. The first one, amazing, Starcastle, great musicianship. The second one, that was my favorite. Kansas is so good. And the Dixie Dregs, what a great track, what a fun track. I'm gonna try and like I got Alexia this app, which is basically an app that goes, you know, it goes with literally your scale, like it listens. It's so crazy. What I guess it's like some kind of AI, you know, like so you play and then it like knows what level you're on, you know, how clean you play and what chords, and then it gives you like a class, and then you can take that class for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour, and you just go like having a private teacher, you know, but who's available at all times. And if you only have 5 minutes to study, it's a Fender, by Fender, the app, and Alexia, and it's for bass and guitar. So I'm gonna try and get Alexia to play more. You know, it is very hard at the beginning. I know, like the first time I grabbed the guitar ever, I was like, no, never gonna happen. You know, I'm not gonna. And then I remember like trying it again, and it was just so difficult, you know. And at that time, like in Mexico, there are no teachers, nobody knows how to play. It was literally like I had to learn by myself everything just by watching videos. Like, oh, that's how they hold it. Oh, that's how they hold a pick, you know. There was nobody who could actually like teach me. So the beginning was the hardest, but I just wanted it so badly, you know. And now it's literally the opposite. There's so much information that you don't really know what to study anymore. So you have to be very clear on what you want to play, you know, like, and then because if you just go on YouTube, it's just overwhelming. There's so much information, and there's any book that I can remember, I can download in a PDF file, which is amazing. But it's like you just get overwhelmed. It's like Netflix, you know, like you never know what movie to watch because there's 100 movies just added yesterday, you know, to the other 300 that you wanted to watch. So it's the same with music that you want to study. There's so much that you want to study, but it's just insane. But well, you know, I hope you enjoyed the marathon. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy it? Which one was your favorite track? And let us know, you know, comments below. And thank you so much again, Eric, for this awesome display. Thank you for picking songs that I've never heard before. I mean, usually there's songs I've never heard before, but those are a little bit more trickier because those are bands that I actually know. Although Dixie Dregs, that was the first reaction, I think. I've done on the channel. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, please. But the Kansas one, that was a hard one because we're pretty familiar now with Kansas, but there's still stuff out there, especially the newer albums and stuff like that. Well, again, thank you so much for being here, for liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. I'd see you in the next one.